A boy pursued his girlfriend for 7 years and his girlfriend always knew and utterly despised him. But when the boy was about to be erased by the system for failing his mission, his girlfriend went crazy and rushed to save him, leaving him behind at their engagement party. She said that a boy who had loved her for 7 years shouldn't meet such an end. What she didn't know is that the moment she stepped out of the engagement party, his mission also failed, and the punishment was to forget her. He stood on the engagement party stage in a neat black suit, his smile frozen, waiting for his fame key, Mia-chan. The audience was filled with their friends and family. The joyful chatter had long disappeared, replaced by confusion and whispers because Mia hadn't come on stage yet. She was clearly backstage, already in her wedding dress. She just wouldn't come out. The host had urged her 3 times, only to be sent back each time. Mr. Lee, Miss Chen has been on a video call with someone and she looks very upset. I don't dare urge her anymore, the host said with a dry laugh. He clenched and unclenched his jaw, suppressing his brewing anger. Mia was probably on a video call with him. His name was Alex. Mia and he grew up together, playing and studying side by side, attending the same schools from kindergarten to university. Everyone thought they were destined to be together, and all their friends and family believed they would walk down the aisle. Mia even swore she would marry no one but him. She was indifferent to all other boys, including her junior Alex. Alex entered their lives 7 years ago, when Mia and he were sophomores and he was a freshman. He came from a poor mountain village, tall and thin, dressed plainly but not unsophisticated because his eyes were bright, like stars in the night sky. He used those bright eyes to watch Mia ever since she defended him when the supermarket owner suspected him of stealing. The boy fell in love with his heroine, but Mia didn't like him. She didn't like the breakfast he brought her every day, the water he handed her after badminton matches, the umbrella he held over her in the rain, or his honest claim that these were just acts of gratitude and he had no other intentions. He had no other intentions for 7 years. Even after graduation, he worked near their company just to see Mia every day. What a persistent person. But Mia was his, at least until Mia came on stage. She was his. For the sake of his parents' reputation, he forced himself to suppress his anger and wait for Mia to come on stage. Mia finally came on stage. Her wedding dress was a bit messy, her hair disheveled, her face filled with guilt and her lips tightly pressed together. Guests finally breathed a sigh of relief and began to clap and cheer, trying to lighten the mood. The host grabbed the microphone, ready to start. But Mia ignored everything, walked up to him, held his hand and said, "Honey, I'm sorry, but I have to leave. Can we postpone the engagement party for a month?" "Why?" He looked at her, wondering if his eyes weren't as bright as Alex's. "Why couldn't I tell if Mia loved me or not?" Mia remained silent, her eyes flickering as she muttered, "The date isn't good. Let's pick another date next month." Did something happen to Alex? He directly hit Mia's heart. Mia stiffened, her face changing as she forced a very strange smile. "Alex is in the hospital. Late-stage cancer. The doctor said he probably only has a month to live. I've already had someone verify it. It's true." No wonder she hesitated so long. She had someone go to the hospital to check. Seems like what he said before was true. He's bound to the system. "If he can't win you over, he'll be punished." He nodded calmly. "This wasn't a secret. Alex had told me long ago that he had to win her over or he would die. In this lifetime he loved no one but Mia. Yes, he's facing severe punishment, dying in the agony of cancer." Mia sighed, pressing her lips together again. She always despised Alex. After all, being pestered for 7 years had exhausted her patience. She even lost her temper once and accidentally hit Alex. Alex curled up on the ground crying and apologizing, but he said he just loved Mia and couldn't control himself. Psycho. This was Mia's usual view of Alex. Now it seemed her view had changed. "The engagement won't take long. For the sake of both families, let's complete the ceremony first and discuss everything else later," he suggested coldly. It was a reasonable suggestion. Out of a man's dignity, he didn't want to completely lose face at this highly anticipated wedding, so he didn't lose his composure. He maintained his last shred of dignity. Mia's expression changed again. She lowered her eyes to look at her watch and anxiously said, "I should go check on him first. I'll go alone, honey, you stay here." She turned to leave. He felt the anger that had been brewing in his chest about to explode. His fists clenched tightly. His gaze fixed on Mia. Were all the years of their relationship and the expectations of their families going to be ruined today? What a laughingstock his family and he would become. "Let's complete the engagement first. It won't take long." He spoke again, hoarse and suppressed. Mia turned around, took a deep breath. "Honey, I don't want to lie to you. Alex said that if I marry you, his mission will completely fail and he will die immediately. So can we wait a little longer?" Mia spoke softly. "No matter how annoying he is, he has loved me for 7 years. He shouldn't meet such an end." He laughed in anger. It seemed Alex's mission hadn't failed yet. He was still trying to salvage it in Mia. Anxious and restless, her heart was no longer with him. She really wanted to fly to Alex's side immediately, not willing to stay a second longer even for their engagement party. For the sake of both their family's dignity. He shook his head in self-mockery. Unexpectedly, he was the one who ultimately failed the mission. Alex had his system, and didn't he, Julian, have one too? Seeing that he was silent, Mia kissed him apologetically. "Honey, I love you, but Alex has suffered so much. I can't bear to see him die. Forgive me. I'll be back." She turned and left. Everyone was stunned. Relatives in the audience called out to Mia, but she ignored them, heading straight for the door. He lifted his head, watching Mia's figure move further and further away. The moment she stepped out the door, he felt the world spin, a sharp pain in his head, and he collapsed to the ground. Host's mission failed. All memories of Mia will be erased. He woke up in the hospital, met by the concerned eyes of his parents. There were also some relatives and their kind neighbors Uncle Chen and Aunt Ai Wang in the room. Seeing him awake, his parents cried with joy, finally relieved. Uncle Chen said apologetically, "Julian, you finally woke up." "My daughter went crazy. She made me so angry. Swear I'll break her legs." "Yes, Julian, don't take it too hard. We'll make sure to discipline Mia properly. She's really out of line." Aunt Ai Wang's eyes worried as she repeatedly assured him they would educate Mia well. He was a bit dazed, his mind blank. "Mia, who is she?" "Isn't Uncle Chen and Aunt Ai Wang's daughter named Jane?" "How could there be a Mia?" Seeing him in a daze, his parents got nervous again, touching his forehead and his hand. His mother cried, aggrieved and angry. "Look at what Mia has done to my son. They've been in love for so many years and she ran away at the engagement party. How can my son face the world?" Don't blame us in-laws. I've already sent Jane to find her. We'll get to the bottom of this and give you an explanation." Uncle Chen apologized deeply. He frowned, hesitating. "Wait, who is Mia?" The relatives in the room were all dumbfounded. His mother was shocked, touching his head again, calling for the doctor. The doctor came and he was given another thorough examination, with no abnormalities found physically. He was very healthy and could be discharged at any time. He just didn't remember how he ended up in the hospital, and it seemed he had forgotten quite a bit. Finally, the doctor suggested that he stay for observation for 3 more days and be discharged if there were no further issues. He stayed in the hospital for 3 days, and his parents, along with Uncle Chen and Aunt Ai Wang, refused to leave. They ate and slept at the hospital, taking turns to look after him. He felt embarrassed. It was fine with his parents, but Uncle Chen and Aunt Ai Wang were too good to him. He wasn't used to it. He told them to go home, that he was fine. Uncle Chen and Aunt Ai Wang exchanged glances, their expressions a bit strange. Julian, have you really forgotten? Hale, you're our son-in-law, so it's only right we take care of you." Aunt Ai Wang didn't like his detachment. He laughed helplessly. "Who exactly is Mia? I can't be her husband, can I?" "Yes, you two were about to get engaged, but something went wrong." Uncle Chen took the opportunity to tell him about Mia and him. He finished talking about the engagement party and even mentioned how they walked dogs, teased cats, climbed mountains on trees together. When you were 7, both families went to the beach together and Dolly was swept away by the sea. Without thinking, he jumped in to save her. If not for the lifeguard, both of you would have. Uncle Chen spoke while observing his face, hoping he would remember. He smiled dryly. He didn't remember any of it. Not a single bit. Uncle Chen got anxious and Dao Taiwang sighed. Maybe he is too angry and temporarily forgot. Julian, take care of yourself and don't be too upset. I'm not upset. I don't even know Mia, so why would I be angry? On the second day in the hospital, it was sunny and he was in a good mood, scrolling on his phone and eating pastries. Uncle Chen was outside making a phone call. His voice. You silly girl. Julian is in the hospital and you don't come to see him? I'll beat you to death. You can't come even if you're dying. You better crawl over here. Hello? Hello? Apparently the other party hung up. Uncle Chen dialed again, but the other party had turned off their phone. Beside his bed, his mom shook her head. Since yesterday, your Uncle Chen and Aunt Taiwang have made dozens of calls and Mia only answered one today. His mom was very angry, completely disappointed in Mia. He shrugged indifferently and continued scrolling on his phone and eating pastries. In the afternoon, Jane came. She is Uncle Chen's daughter and his childhood friend. They are very close. As soon as she arrived, she checked on him, unrelaxed upon seeing his healthy complexion and natural expression. Brother-in-law, don't worry. I've already scolded my sister for you. She's such an idiot. She pissed me off. Jane swore. She was always straightforward, but she wouldn't be so coarse in front of the elders. Clearly, she was very angry. Uncle Chen hurriedly asked what was going on. Jane took a sip of water before speaking. It's Alex causing trouble again. Alex has always liked my sister, right? He once stood outside our house for a whole day and night in the rain without leaving. He has cancer now and doesn't have long to live. He wants my sister to accompany him through his last days and my sister agreed. She's already moved him to the seaside villa to let him face the sea and enjoy the spring flowers every day. Jane got angrier as she spoke and slapped the table. I went to the seaside villa and saw my sister feeding Alex. Alex looked so happy. It made me furious. Jane clearly understood everything. She had confronted Mia face to face. His parents were livid, almost cursing. Uncle Chen and Aunt Taiwang were also furious and Aunt Taiwang almost fainted. Uncle Chen gritted his teeth and said angrily, Mia, you're such a disgrace. After scolding, he quickly apologized to his parents and tried to reassure him. Julian, I'll personally go catch Mia and make her kneel and apologize to you. Aunt Taiwang agreed, urging Uncle Chen to go catch her quickly. He blinked, continuing to eat his pastry, looking bewildered. Jane was a bit confused and cautiously asked him, brother-in-law, Are you okay? He felt fine. What's wrong with me? Is there something wrong with my phone or the pastries? No, nothing's wrong. Everything's great. It's pretty interesting, actually. He really found me a story quite amusing. A real soap opera. Everyone exchanged glances. His parents were both angry and worried, fearing something was wrong with his brain, and once again asked the hospital to examine him. The results were still normal, but everyone thought he was acting strange. Uncle Chen, without a word, angrily went to fetch Mia. On the third day, he brought her back. His parents, Aunt Taiwan and Jane were all present. The moment Mia entered the room, she looked at him with guilt and concern. Honey, are you okay? I actually wanted to see you earlier, but Alex just got out of the hospital and is in poor condition. I had to settle him first. Mia came over and apologized. He stared at her. Honestly, this woman was really beautiful. About 5 feet 5 inches tall with a slim and slender figure. High nose, bridge, and big eyes. It was hard for her to look ugly. Uncle Chen and Wang, when did you get another daughter? I have to say, she's pretty. He complimented. Mia froze for a moment, frowning, and reached out to take his hand. Honey, Emily, we grew up together. Don't say things like that out of anger. Before she could finish, He instinctively pulled his hand back, frowning in displeasure. Who are you and how can you just touch my hand? I'm a decent person. Mia froze again, then lowered her head with a bitter smile. Dad said you lost your memory. I know you're pretending you hate me now. I'm sorry, honey. It's my fault. Please listen to me. She reached for his hand again. He frowned even more, shaking her hand off. What are you doing? Don't touch me. Mia didn't expect his reaction to be so intense. Shaking her hand off, she felt bitter and humiliated, lowering her head and speaking hoarsely. I won't touch you anymore. I know I've deeply hurt you, but Alex is dying. You know he's going to die. He's had a hard life with a tough family and tough living conditions. He's never had a good day. Mia lifted her head. Wasted 7 years of his youth on me and now he's dying. I can't just stand by and watch him suffer. Isn't a person's life more important than our engagement party? Mia questioned him. His parents were about to explode with anger. Uncle Chen slapped Mia on the head. Shut up. Is this about the engagement party? Alex or no Alex? Who's more important, him or Julian? Dad? You can't compare like that. Alex has cancer. He sacrificed so much for me. Mia retorted. He felt annoyed. He didn't care about the engagement party or who was more important. He just didn't like this stranger touching his hand twice. Stop arguing. I don't want to see you. Please leave, he sighed, asking her to go. His parents also wanted Mia to leave immediately. Mia pursed her lips and slowly stood up. Honey, I still hope you can be reasonable. Alex has suffered so much. Our happiness is equal to his suffering. Pretend to have amnesia. Hate me if you want. I accept that, but please be generous. Show Alex some understanding and forgiveness. He fell speechless. What was she talking about? What was she yelling about? Sorry, I really don't know you. As for Alex, I think he was a junior of mine in college. He's had a tough life. You should take care of him. Love him well. I wish you happiness. He sincerely wished them a long and happy life together. Mia sighed again. I'll come back when you stop being angry. She turned and left, ignoring Jane's scolding and Uncle Chen and Auntie Wang's attempts to stop her. That night, a sudden storm brought heavy rain and thunder. He woke up in the middle of the night startled. It's embarrassing to admit, but he's terrified of thunderstorms. When he was 7, he got lost once during a thunderstorm, crying his eyes out, and since then he's had a psychological shadow. Thunderstorms make him feel like he stepped on a snake. His parents and Uncle Chen and Auntie Wang weren't around. They were probably resting in the caregiver's room. He didn't wake them up, instead he stayed under the covers, scrolling on his phone since the thunder was keeping him awake anyway. His mom came in. Seeing him awake, she teased, "With all this thunder, I knew you wouldn't be able to sleep." He smiled. His mom touched his forehead and sighed. "I remember when it used to thunder. Mia would come over with an umbrella in the middle of the night to keep you company because she knew you couldn't sleep." Really? Yes, she was so worried about you. I remember after we found you, there was another thunderstorm and you were crying again. Mia ran barefoot to our door, calling for you, telling you not to be afraid. She got soaked and had a high fever for days. She grew faster than you then, was taller than you. Really like a big sister. Really, he didn't feel anything. Just smiled and said she was silly for doing that. His mom hesitantly asked, "Do you really not remember Mia?" She suspected he was pretending to since all his tests came back normal. "Mom, I don't know Mia and I don't like Mia. My first impression of her is terrible. Please don't mention her again." He frowned. His mom thought for a moment and nodded. After being discharged, they took Uncle Chen's car to his villa. The maid had already prepared luncheon. Many of the Chen family's relatives were there celebrating his discharge. "Julian, today is your discharge day. We are here to celebrate and apologize. We hope you won't blame us for not teaching our daughter well," Uncle Chen said, full of guilt. He quickly waved his hand. Uncle Chen had been taking care of him in the hospital for days and he had worked hard. They had a joyous meal and the Chen family's relatives all said nice things, hoping he would forgive Mia. They were afraid he would call off the engagement as their family's businesses were closely linked. Their villas were next to each other and a fallout would be ugly. But he really didn't know any Mia. Uncles and aunties, you and my parents have been friends for years. No matter what happens between Mia and me, it won't affect our relationships. Please rest assured. He gave them some peace of mind. Everyone relaxed a bit. And Wang spoke at the right moment. Julian, when I comes back, we'll make sure to give you a grand engagement ceremony. We won't let you suffer any grievance. As soon as she finished speaking, the butler came to report that Miss Chen had returned. Everyone looked towards the door. Uncle Chen looked pleased and got up. I scolded that girl. It seems she's realized her mistake and has come back to apologize. But his expression quickly changed because it wasn't just Mia who had returned to Alex too. Alex, tall and thin, was wearing a white coat and a thick hat, coughing and holding Mia's hand nervously at the door. Everyone was stunned. Uncle Chen angrily shouted, "Mia, are you crazy? Have you no shame?" Let go of his hand. Alex was startled, his already weak body shrinking further. Mia explained, "Dad, don't scare Alex. He's become timid after getting cancer. He was frightened by the thunder last night and the wind and waves at the seaside were too much, so I brought him home. You all are usually not at home, so I didn't know you were having a meal here today." "Shut up. You're completely insane. Get out and take Alex with you." Uncle Chen was furious. Alex shrank back further, saying nothing with his head down. He was really curious about what the main character of this dramatic story looked like. He hadn't seen his junior Alex for many years, so he was genuinely curious. So he walked over and motioned for Uncle Chen to calm down. Mia met his gaze, slightly avoiding it, looking both embarrassed and guilty. He didn't care about her. He observed Alex. He gave a dry smile and looked up, revealing a pale face and still bright eyes. His eyes were exceptionally bright, brighter than the stars in the sky. Even though his face was bloodless, paired with those peach blossom eyes, he still looked like a delicate, handsome guy. When he was in college, he was very simple, his clothes old and shabby, exuding a lack of confidence. Now he was still not confident, just more miserable, considering he had cancer. "Alex, it's been many years." He smiled. Alex stood dumbfounded, staring at him in confusion. Mia spoke up. "Honey, it's all my fault. Don't blame Alex. I'll take him away immediately." She pulled Alex, wanting to leave. "He's in such a state a gust of wind could blow him away. Why are you taking him around? Let him stay here. The environment is good. The air is freshened. We can call a private doctor any time. It's suitable for recuperation." He offered his opinion. Alex froze again. Mia didn't freeze but seemed a bit angry. It seemed his excessive magnanimity and lack of jealousy were unacceptable to her. She probably thought he was being sarcastic. "Honey, what do you want? I said we could get engaged in a month and you have to make a fuss. Why are you making fun of Alex? He doesn't have many days left. Can you let him be a little happy?" Mia got angrier as she spoke. He felt baffled. "Why are you angry?" "I'm just concerned about my junior's health. A terminal cancer patient can't handle being moved around. Firstly, I'm not being sarcastic. Secondly, I won't get engaged to you in a month because I don't like you. Finally, I really don't know you, so please watch your tone," he sternly warned Mia. No one behind him spoke. Alex didn't speak either. Mia, frustrated, hailed Alex into the villa. "Fine, Julian, you're really something. You keep pretending. I'll take your advice. Alex should stay here to recuperate. This place is perfect for that." She was furious, her personality quite impulsive. Uncle Chen shouted angrily, "Mia, stop. Who allowed you to bring an outsider home?" Julian did. Mia was very angry. So Alex moved in. All the relatives were furious, feeling indignant for him. He didn't care. He wanted to go home. Luckily, they lived in the same neighborhood with his villa right next door. Back home, his parents cursed Mia and felt sorry for his suffering. A grown man like him being jilted by his fiancée, who then brought another man home, it was too much. But he didn't feel it was a big deal. "Isn't this great? Who was Mia anyway? Why should I feel wronged?" At night, it started thundering again. Summer storms come suddenly and the thunder is especially loud. He couldn't sleep again. He remembered his mom saying that Nia would come over during thunderstorms to keep him company, but now she wouldn't come as her darling Alex was scared of thunderstorms too. While he was thinking this, the doorbell rang, barely audible in the storm, but his phone notified him someone was visiting. In this thunderstorm, his mom went to answer the door and let the person in. He listened and heard Mia's anxious and high-pitched voice. Julian is afraid of thunder. All these years, whenever it thundered, he needed me to sleep. He can't sleep without me. Julian is already asleep. You should go back. His mom responded with deep resentment towards Mia. Kenty, it's all my fault. I lost my temper with Julian during the day, but I really love him. It's just... Can I go up and see him? No, his mom flatly refused. Mia was silent for a moment, then sighed. Then please tell Julian that I know he hasn't forgotten me. I'll wait for him to forgive me even if it takes a lifetime. Disgusting. He got goosensed, not afraid of the thunder anymore. He turned on the light and got up to drink some water. Glancing at the Chen villa, he could see the third-floor room. The light was on and it's hall. A thin figure stood by the window, staring silently in his direction. He was startled, realizing it was Alex. He stood there like a ghost, probably waiting for Mia to return. He quickly drew the curtains, not wanting to have nightmares. After a night of heavy rain, the air was filled with the fresh scent of the earth. Jane came running to find him. He was having breakfast and she unceremoniously grabbed his milk to drink. Brother-in-law, I'm so fed up now. I have to live with Alex. My parents have gone back to the company and I feel completely uncomfortable at her house. It was just her, me, and Alex. My parents are furious and have cut off my sister's card, but my sister has saved a lot of money herself and has a terrible temper. She even said that if we Dr. Alex away, she'll kill herself. Jane kept complaining. He found it amusing. Such a devoted fool. Brother-in-law, I can't take it anymore. I don't want to stay at home. Let's go out and have some fun. How about we attend our alma mater's anniversary celebration tomorrow? Jane suddenly suggested. He was taken aback. Our alma mater's anniversary celebration. Oh, right. His university was about to hold its anniversary celebration. The alumni were invited to go back and celebrate. Jane was actually his junior. A few years younger. Why do you suddenly want to go to the anniversary celebration? He asked Jane. Jane shrugged. This morning, the school called my sister, inviting her to the celebration. She even gets to give a speech. No wonder, she was one of the Qing who had twin stars back then. Why didn't they invite me? I'm quite accomplished too. Earning 3,000 yuan a month. Jane was indignant. She was actually mocking herself. Her 3,000 yuan salary was just nominal. Her actual allowance was 100,000. He couldn't help but laugh. But his memory was a bit fuzzy. Were there twin stars at Qinghua back then? Wasn't there just one star? That star seemed to be named Lily. Lily was the brightest star in Qinghua's history during his college years. Lily's miracles were everywhere. For example, she took 9 elective courses and ranked first in 3 of them. She won first prize in the National College Physics Competition. She won the first special prize for Qinghua in the International College Student Mathematical Modeling Competition. She was incredible, leaving a deep impression on him. Later, he heard she went abroad, recruited by several top universities. She was probably settled abroad by now. Brother-in-law, what are you thinking about? Are we going to the anniversary celebration or not? It would be nice to see old friends. Jane was excited. He wasn't keen on going, especially since Mia was invited and he didn't want to see her. But, after thinking about it, why should I avoid her? She's not significant to me, just a passerby. Let's go. They went enthusiastically. On the day of the celebration, they had already roamed around the campus, eating and drinking. After they were full, they jogged to the Qinghua Grand Auditorium. The Grand Auditorium was where the celebration was held. spacious and bright with seats and a stage. He heard there would be a ball after the speeches, a real party, in front of the auditorium. They saw two posters. One was of Mia and the other was of Lily. There wasn't much to say about Mia. She was indeed impressive, with an amazing resume and a strong background, donating to her alma mater every year. It was fitting to invite her to speak. As for Lily, she was more mysterious, having disappeared for years. From the poster, he learned she was a professor at Stanford University, the youngest female professor in Stanford's history. She's really something. Stanford is a top school. Lily truly deserves to be one of the twin stars. Since she graduated, no one from our school has achieved such an honor. Jane was in awe, taking pictures with her phone. And she's so beautiful. Look at that dress and those refined lips. He was a bit disgusted. Jane was fangirling too much, even over a woman. He didn't look too much and pulled her into the auditorium. There were alumni everywhere, including some familiar faces. After a few pleasantries, the celebration began. The principal and leaders gave speeches, followed by Mia. She looked stunning today, like a celestial fairy, causing an uproar as soon as she took the stage, showing her immense popularity. My sister is really amazing. Just a bit confused. Jane clicked her tongue. He didn't respond. After Mia's speech, Lily took the stage. Her popularity was much lower than Mia's, not because she was inferior, but because she was always aloof, solitary in school. Though admired, she had no social circle, so everyone found her unattainable. He studied her. Her beauty was different from Mia's. Mia was like a descending fairy, while Lily was like a mystical deer hidden in the mist. Seeing a deer in the forest, that was her. After Lily's speech, the celebration reached its climax. The grand auditorium turned into a party venue, filled with lively or mature alumni, chatting and toasting. Jane loved food and ran around, eventually disappearing. He looked for her everywhere but saw Mia walking towards him. She was the center of attention, with eyes following her everywhere she went as if she had her own aura. He had to admit she was impressive, but he didn't want to see her because his first impression of her had already made it difficult for him to like her. "Julian, you're here too?" Mia called out. Her expression complex. He ignored her. Mia tried to make conversation. "Did you come specifically to see me? It's rare for me to give a speech this year. How did I do?" He frowned. How self-absorbed could she be? "Mia, I'm just here to have fun and I really don't know you." "Can you watch your words?" He harshly reprimanded her. The nearby alumni fell silent, puzzled. Mia's smile faded. She pursed her lips and suddenly grabbed his arm, pulling him away. "What are you doing?" he angrily scolded. "Julian, is there really no love left between us? I know I've wronged you, but do you have to humiliate me over and over?" Mia gritted her teeth, feeling both indignant and sad. "Yes, there's no love left because I don't know you. How many times do I have to say it? I really don't know you." He was getting angry. Who did she think she was? Mia's eyes instantly reddened, tears welling up. "Looking pitiful. Fine, keep pretending." She forced back her tears, took a deep breath and turned to a nearby guy, sweetly smiling and inviting him to dance. The guy, delighted, immediately took Mia's hand and started dancing. Mia looked at him, intentionally trying to provoke him. He was speechless. Was she a child? "Julian, it's been a long time. Would you like to dance?" A gentle voice called out. He turned to see Lily smiling at him. Lily's gentle voice didn't quite match her reserved and cool demeanor. It was a striking contrast. He pointed at himself. "You mean me?" "Yes, Julian." Lily continued to smile. He was a bit skeptical. "You know me? I was practically invisible at Tsinghua." "Invisible?" "Not quite. As a top student in the language and literature department, you defeated me in the debate competition." Lily chuckled. He recalled the event. It did happen. Bored, He had signed up for the debate competition, wanting to learn from the big shots. Surprisingly, he performed exceptionally well and won first place. One of his opponents was Lily, but he hadn't noticed this great figure at the time. To be precise, he hadn't noticed any girl. I remember the debate topic was whether love or life was more important. We chose love and your side chose life, Lily reminisced. We were destined to lose that debate. How could love be more important than life? Indeed, I won by luck, he said modestly. Lily laughed. You won by skill. Back then you were unstoppable, full of youthful energy. Like a tree on the cliff brimming with life. What kind of metaphor was that? But it was a compliment and he appreciated it, so he accepted her invitation to dance. Otherwise, it would be boring. He confidently took Lily's hand and led her into the dance floor. She surprisingly knew how to dance very well. She didn't seem like a high and cold academic god, but rather like a stunning white rose. He teased, Do you dance often? Yes, there are many balls abroad and you learn as you go. Lily looked up at him slightly. Her gaze was intense, quite inconsistent with her usual image, but her gaze was not off-putting. It was filled with admiration and praise. He felt a bit embarrassed under her gaze and found a topic to ask about. You seem to have not returned to the country for many years. Why did you come back this time? I'm about to get my green card. This might be my last time coming back, she replied. He nodded, watching her gentle movements. The music in the dance floor was graceful and beautiful, with pairs of alumni laughing and chatting. He enjoyed this moment. It felt like youth. But suddenly Lily was bumped into and almost fell. He frowned and saw Mia and Hurden's partner nearby. Mia's face was livid and she looked murderous. Clearly she had bumped into Lily. Lily steadied herself and thought, yeah. She didn't say anything, just signaled for them to leave. Stop. Mia couldn't help but shout. She ignored Hurden's partner and came over to grab his other hand. Lily looked displeased. Mia, what are you trying to do? Lily, don't you know Julian is my fiancé? What do you mean by this? Mia was even more displeased. People around them turned to look, bewildered. He was frustrated. Mia, are you crazy? He shook off Mia's hand, wanting to leave quickly. Lily didn't want to lose face either and left with him. Lily, I'm talking to you. Mia got angrier. I don't want to make a scene, but don't be shameless. Mia was clearly losing her composure. With her status and upbringing, she usually wouldn't say such things. Lily stopped, her gaze firm, her gentle voice filled with pressure. Mia, do you want to be thrown out? This was the biggest provocation. Mia instantly flew into a rage and punched Lily. She had clearly learned boxing and the punch was accurate. Amidst the crowd's exclamations, Lily got a nosebleed but wasn't weak either and fought back immediately. She knew Taekwondo and her moves were precise. She was stunned. What kind of grudge did these beautiful women have? Mia's madness was understandable, but Lily, with her status, how could she be even angrier than Mia? He quickly pulled them apart. Alumni also came forward to help. Both were bleeding. Lily's nose was hurt and Mia had blood on her mouth. Julian, come with me. Mia pushed through the crowd, trying to pull him. Lily said nothing, just looked at him. He felt she wanted him to go with her, without hesitation. He supported Lily and left. Let's go to the hospital. Julian knew. He was stunned, incredulous. He looked back at her. Her face was filled with shock and indescribable fear. She seemed finally afraid of losing him. He took Lily to the school clinic. After a simple treatment for her wound, Lily was fine. Are you out of your mind? A professor at Stanford University getting into a fight at a party. Aren't you embarrassed? He still couldn't understand Lily's thinking. Lily laughed. A silly laugh. Tell me, debater Julian, do you think life is more important or love? She asked him a question. It felt like many years ago when she stood on the debate stage, meticulously asking him questions. He froze for a moment, then playfully slapped her on the head. Are you crazy? I think love is more important. Without love, life is just an empty shell and there's no difference between living and dying. Lily said earnestly. He was speechless. raising his hands in surrender. All right, love is important. This time you win. She laughed again. She seemed especially happy tonight, her smile particularly radiant. But it was getting late and he had to find Jane the foodie. He said his goodbyes, telling her that if they were fated, they would meet again. After all, she was going back abroad and meeting again would really require fate. Lily hesitated, as if there was something she wanted to say but couldn't. I'm leaving now, he waved. Lily opened her mouth and, when he reached the door, she finally said, Julian, are you still going to marry Mia? He paused, sensing that she knew about him and Mia even though he had no memory of it. Did you approach me on purpose? Who sent you? He turned to look at her. Alex told me you and Mia broke up, so I came back. Lily didn't hide it. I thought Mia'd vent for you. Alex? Vent for me? He immediately understood everything. Lily had been used by Alex. Alex was too cunning. He first used his cancer to gain Mia's sympathy, preventing her from getting engaged to him. But Mia still loved him and wouldn't give up on him, so Alex tricked Lily into coming back to be the third party. As long as Lily took him away, Mia would have no choice but to be with Alex, allowing Alex's plan to succeed. You've been used. He shook his head. Lily chuckled. That's not the point. Hadn't you noticed I'm confessing to you? I did. It seems that not only did I defeat you in the debate, but I also won your heart. He smiled, a bit of male pride showing. Lily sat on the hospital bed, looking up at him. You haven't changed. You're still like a tree on a cliff, proudly swaying, growing freely in the sunlight and spring breeze. Thanks for the compliment. So, can I be the little grass beside you? Lily asked. The rock is too hard, the grass doesn't grow easily. Think it over before you say anything. He waved and left. First he caught up with Jane on the campus path. She was looking for him too, quite anxious. Brother-in-law, my sister fought with Lily. I'm at my wit's end. Isn't this just humiliating? Jane complained helplessly. Let them fight, he said as he led Jane home. By the time they got home, it was already late and their parents weren't home. Jane decided to stay at his place. She didn't want to go back and live with Alex. My parents have given the final ultimatum. If my sister doesn't send Alex away by tomorrow, they'll use force to kick him out. Awesome. Jane followed him into the house, still chattering. Uncle Chen and Aunt Hai Wang were civilized people, but they still gave me a final ultimatum. I think your sister is spoiled. Your parents are too indulgent with her. He complained. She is spoiled, but you bear a lot of responsibility too. If you hadn't allowed Alex to move into my house, my parents wouldn't be in this stalemate. Jane gave him a look. She was right. He had let Alex stay at Mia's house. So be it. Back home, they cooked some steaks. After dinner, the doorbell rang. Jane ran to answer and exclaimed, Alex. What are you doing here? He raised an eyebrow and went to see. Sure enough, it was Alex. He was wrapped in a white coat, wearing a thick hat, his pale face devoid of any color. I need to talk to Julian, Alex said. He's not available. Get lost. Jane tried to chase him away. Mia just called me and told me to get ready. She wants to marry me. Alex continued. Jane was shocked. What? Say that again. Mia wants to marry me, Alex said calmly. Jane was furious and reached out to hit him. He intervened. Jane, go upstairs. I need to talk to Alex. Brother-in-law, this guy isn't a good person. Jane refused to go upstairs. He gave her a stern look and she reluctantly went upstairs. Now, it was just Alex and him on the first floor. Alex walked in as if he owned the place, scanning the living room and eyeing the wine cabinet. The elegant bottles of wine glistened under the light. I'd like a glass. Alex pointed to the wine rack. He took a bottle of wine in motion for Alex to sit down. He sat at the dining table, his bright eyes fixed on him. His eyes had always been this bright. He opened the bottle and poured him a glass. He took it with both hands, staring at the gently swaying liquid. He poured himself a glass and took a sip, asking, What do you want? He didn't answer immediately. taking a gentle sip of the wine and then showing a blissful expression, sighing softly. "It's so good." "This is the cheapest one," he said truthfully. He didn't mind choosing his words carefully. "Julian, do you know? My dream has always been to drink wine elegantly like you." "That's a dream?" "Of course it is. When I was 7, the village showed a movie and I sat on a dirty bucket, watching a city white-collar worker drink wine elegantly on the blurry screen. It was noble and handsome. That image stayed with me for a lifetime." Alex's face had a faint smile and his complexion improved a bit. He crossed his legs. "And then I worked hard studying. Whenever I wasn't working, I broke pen after pen, wore down finger after finger. I was the first college student in my village. My parents borrowed money to send me to Beijing for school. Their backs were bent from carrying rice. Their eyes stung from sweat. I finally had money to study." Alex's eyes reddened. He took another sip of wine, staring at the liquid as it swirled. "I got into Tingshu, a university. I was going to make something of myself. I could be a scientist, a businessman, a government official. At the very least, I could be a city white-collar worker. I could finally cross my legs and drink wine. Handsome, elegant, noble. I wanted my parents to drink wine too. They deserved it." He listened quietly. Alex faced many of the same struggles as other children from poor villages. Even if they got into college, the difficulties continued. A glass of wine might be a lifelong dream. "So, you want to marry Mia, the rich woman, and live a life of luxury drinking wine every day?" "No, Julian, you don't understand me." Alex gave a bitter smile. "I had a great future ahead. I had the chance and ability to change my family's generations of poverty. I even saw that glass of wine. I could almost reach out and take it. But then, I was bound by the system. I had to win over Mia. It's laughable. I spent 7 years of my youth trying to win over a woman, being her lowly simp." Alex laughed louder and louder. Tears welled up in his eyes, like a sudden flood in the mountains. "Do you know what it feels like? Being forced to exhaust everything to be a woman's simp? I couldn't study properly, couldn't progress, couldn't complete my coursework. Everything revolved around one woman. If I resisted, I would die." Alex slammed the wine glass on the table, spilling wine on his hand. He shook it off and stared straight at him. "I couldn't even feed myself, but I had to buy breakfast for Mia. I didn't like badminton, but I had to cheer for her again and again. I was weak and got sick in the rain, but I had to hold an umbrella for her when I didn't want to. I faced death threats from the system. It felt like a wire around my neck, choking me, not allowing me a moment's breath." Alex said a lot. Tears streamed down his cheeks, which he quickly wiped away. He stared at him blankly. "So, you never liked Mia?" "A man like me never aspired to love. In my eyes, only that glass of wine is what I desire. No man would be willing to waste 7 years of his youth for a woman. The so-called love isn't even worth 7 days of pursuit." Alex spoke firmly. He was speechless. Alex sniffled and exhaled a relieved sigh. "I tricked Lily into coming back. I knew she had a crush on you since your debate about whether life or love was more important. I watched the whole thing and she didn't disappoint me. She infuriated Mia. Mia, out of revenge, decided to marry me to make you regret it," Alex sneered. "I know her intentions. She hopes to provoke you to stop her from marrying me. That's why I'm here to ask for your last favor. Don't stop her. Let me in this game." He understood everything. Mia wanted to provoke him. Her decision to marry Alex was made in a fit of anger. If he went back to her, she wouldn't marry Alex. Then Alex's plan wouldn't succeed. "If Mia marries you, will everything end? Will your cancer be cured?" he asked. "Yes, it will all end." Alex was extremely tired. "It's been 7 years. I'm almost 30. I'm so tired. When will I get to drink my glass of wine?" After saying this, he took out a bank card from his pocket. He looked at him curiously as he pushed the card toward him with some reluctance. I saved 89,000 yuan. I've wasted all my energy on Mia, so this is all I could save. I'm giving it to you as payment. The password is 137654. He didn't want to accept Alex's payment, but he didn't take it back. He simply finished his glass of wine and with his sickly body left. Jane ran downstairs and asked, "Did that scoundrel leave? What did he say?" "Nothing important," he replied while putting away the cart. Jane looked skeptical. "Nothing important? Then why did he come? Is my sister really going to marry him?" Yes, there was no doubt. Mia had been driven mad by Lily. She planned to marry Alex to provoke him. The next day, she gathered their families and friends for a meal at his house. His parents thought Mia had finally come to her senses and was here to apologize. Uncle Chen and Auntie Wang were also happy, drinking tea and smiling. "It's best if you two reconcile. As for Alex, we've been kind enough not to throw him out on the street. Yes, if Mia and Julian get married, we'll pay for Alex's treatment," said the relatives. All very kind. Mia, however, said nothing. She just stared at him. He ignored her. She snorted and said, "Julian, did you fight dancing with Lily?" The room fell silent and everyone was stunned. "Mia, what are you saying?" Uncle Chen raised his voice. "What am I saying? Julian is so charming. He has seduced the most outstanding woman at Jinghua." Mia's words were full of sarcasm. He didn't care about his injured fiancé but rushed to take a stranger to the hospital. He probably even cried with worry. "What are you barking about? I told you." "I don't know you. I feel nothing for you." "Why can't I care about another woman?" he retorted. Mia was furious and slammed the table, her eyes red. "You're still pretending to have amnesia." "I'm not pretending. I don't know you. Besides, I've always remembered Lily and admired her. She confessed her love to me, and I accepted." He dropped the ball. Everyone was shocked. Mia, enraged, laughed sarcastically. "Perfect. I was just planning to marry Alex. Let's go our separate ways." After saying that, she wiped her tears and left without looking back. He watched her leave, knowing she hoped he would call out to her. So he did. Wait. Mia stopped immediately but didn't turn around. "What? I'm planning to get engaged to Lily the day after tomorrow. Make sure to come and bring a gift," he kindly reminded her. She froze, clenched her teeth. Her eyes filled with tears and left. Mia left just like that. The relatives were all bewildered and shocked, not understanding what had happened. He didn't explain much and went alone to the university. On the sports field, he saw Illy walking aimlessly. She was always like this, enjoying walking around the field during her leisure time, which led many boys to wait for her, hoping for a chance encounter. He walked quickly toward her and she didn't notice him even when he was right behind her. Just as he was about to tap her on the shoulder, she received a video call. The call connected and it was evidently her parents. "Lily, when are you coming back to the U.S.? You need to come back to get your green card." Her father sounded anxious. Her mother also urged, "Hurry back. I found a boy for you, a handsome mixed-race guy." Lily smiled. "No rush. I'm enjoying my time back at my alma mater." "What's no rush? You're not getting any younger." "Hurry back to the U.S. so I can introduce you to someone," her mother continued. Her father then, "Daughter, you're almost 30, right? You haven't dated anyone all these years. You wouldn't be. I'm warning you, even though we're in the U.S. We can't adopt their ways." He almost burst out laughing. So Lily was also being pressured about marriage. "Mom, Dad, stop overthinking." "I'll go back soon," Lily said helplessly. After the call ended, she continued walking aimlessly. He jumped next to her and shouted, "Boo!" Lily was startled but then laughed when she saw him. "Julian, who do you think is scarier, a person or a ghost?" "Stop, stop, no more debates." He was really impressed by her. Lily nodded with a smile. Without wasting time, he took out his phone to take a selfie. Lily was a bit surprised and even a bit nervous. Her cheek stands. Why are you nervous? It's just a selfie, he said, exasperated. I don't know. I never thought you'd want to take a picture with me. Lily continued to be nervous, but she was beautiful even when she was nervous. He took a casual selfie and posted it on his social media. The caption, "We are together." Lily was stunned, looking at his post in disbelief. Julian, are you serious? She stared at him without blinking. He nodded. After all these years, you're the only one who has made me feel something. What about Mia? Who is she? He really didn't know who she was. Lily stared at him for a while, then eagerly called her parents. Mom. Dad, I don't want the green card anymore. I still prefer living in China. You've always talked about wanting to come back. Once I'm settled, I'll bring you back. Wow, she's really into this romance. Is this really one of the Tsinghua twin stars? The untouchable academic prodigy? Adorable. He went home satisfied, but he saw Mia standing in front of his house, looking as gloomy as an owl in the night. She was seething with anger, head down, body trembling slightly. He walked over and she looked up at him, her lips trembling. Are you really with Lily? Yes, he admitted openly. Julian, do you really not love me anymore? Just because I wanted to save Alex's life, you hate me this much. Sorry, I don't even know who you are. How could I love you? He made it clear. Mia closed her eyes, her voice squeezing out from her throat. Tears streaming down her face. Fine, fine, don't regret this. Don't you dare regret this. She was completely heartbroken and left without looking back. Soon after, he heard a fierce argument from her house with Uncle Chen's, yelling on Dan Taowang's crying. Finally, with the roar of a car engine, Mia drove away with Alex in a sports car. Later, he saw Mia's post on social media. The caption, "Having you in this life is my greatest joy." There were 2 photos. One of her with Alex and another of their marriage certificate. Brother-in-law, my sister has gone mad. She's gone mad. Just over looking pale. She got married to Alex, right? He said calmly. Yes, she had a huge fight with us, grabbed the household registration book and ran off to get married to Alex. It's all over. Jane was on the verge of tears. He wouldn't be her brother-in-law anymore. He also foresaw a lot of trouble ahead, as the relatives from both families would surely explode. He would have a massive headache dealing with it. Jane, I'm going on a trip. Tell everyone not to look for me. I'm fine and I have Lily. He decided to leave early, or he'd be overwhelmed. That day, before the relatives could come looking for him, he packed a few things and hit the road. On the way, he informed Lily and asked her to join him on the trip. As night fell, they sat on the high-speed train, exchanging texts. Julian, where are we going on this trip? To fun places. We'll travel for a month and then see. A month should be enough to avoid the chaos. Right? Lily agreed to everything and they traveled wherever they wanted, eating, drinking, and sleeping as they pleased. Of course, they also took care of their needs. For example, if her feet were cold, he'd warm them up in his arms. As they warmed up, so did they. What could they do? Those who understand, understand. After the trip, they returned to Baoxing. Lily's parents were eager to come back to the country and she excitedly went to welcome them. She also arranged for them to have dinner together so she could formally introduce him to her parents. He was naturally happy to oblige and he called Jane to ask what had happened in the past month. Brother-in-law, you're finally back. My sister's a mess. She's been drinking and gambling every day. Jane sighed heavily. That can't be true, Julian. It's only been a month and she's like this. Alex divorced her. They got the certificate one day and divorced the next. It was all just for show and everyone was shocked. Jane herself was stunned. We all thought he was after money, marrying my sister to live off her. But he divorced her the next day without asking for any compensation. My sister's heart was still set on you. She regretted getting married right away and agreed to the divorce immediately. After the divorce, Alex told her something and she became completely lost and broken. Jian was exasperated. There was a commotion on her end and then the phone was taken away. He heard Mia sobbing. "Julian, is that you? I know I was wrong. Please come back. How could you forget me? Are you trying to win me back because I abandoned you? You forgot me." He didn't understand. What was she talking about? Alex told me he figured it out. "You failed to win me over, so you lost your memory. I deserve to die. Please come back, please." Mia was crying her heart out, but he remained indifferent because honestly, he didn't know her. "I've already married Lily. Goodbye." He turned off his phone, never to see her again. He was in a good mood and didn't feel like going home, so he decided to take a walk around the city. Passing by Wanda Plaza, he saw a familiar figure. He was dressed plainly, tall and thin, enthusiastically handing out flyers. He stood there watching him, looking at his smiling face, his thin body under the sunlight and his clothes fluttering in the wind. He walked over. He saw him and froze, and invited him. "Want to have a drink? There's a cafe over there and I have a bottle of wine in my bag." "Where did you get the wine from?" "Mia's house. I couldn't let those 7 years of being a simp go to waste, so I took the most expensive bottle of wine from her house." "Good move. Let's go have a drink." Half a year later, he married Lily and his family had long since moved out of that neighborhood. Mia had completely fallen apart in these 6 months, drinking heavily, gambling and neglecting her health. A once beautiful woman had turned into an addict. Her parents were so angry that they fell ill. He decided to give up on her, letting her hit rock bottom. He saw Mia again on Christmas Eve on the street. She revved her sports car loudly with a pretentious male model in the passenger seat, screaming. He watched from a distance as Mia, yawning, got out of the car with the male model and took a drag on her cigarette. She had lost all the pride and elegance of the Qinghua twin star. Now she was just a mess. Damn it, so many people. "Where's the bar we went to last time?" Mia cursed as she looked around for the bar. The male model giggled. "I forgot to." "Where was it?" "We drank so much. We forgot." Mia suddenly stopped, turned to the male model and yelled, "Forget your ass. You're not allowed to forget." "Not allowed." The male model was terrified, apologizing repeatedly. "Remember?" "Remember it now." Mia slapped the male model. He quickly pointed in a direction. "I remember. It's over there." Satisfied, Mia walked towards the bar, smoking her cigarette, but after a few steps, she suddenly broke down in tears, collapsing to the ground and crying loudly. The male model remembered. The person she loved couldn't remember her. A long time later, he met Alex again. He wasn't handing out flyers anymore. He had passed the civil service exam in his hometown. After all, he was from a key school. After 7 years of hard times, handing out flyers was just a temporary way to make money. With his abilities, he was bound to succeed eventually. After passing the civil service exam, he was preparing to leave Beijing. Before leaving, he came to see him, holding a bottle of wine. He smiled. "Want a drink, Mr. Julian? Let me buy you a drink." No need to be polite. It's not our first time drinking together. They drank happily, of course, mostly with Alex talking and him listening. He worked hard, desperately passing the civil service exam in his hometown. He could finally sit back and drink wine with his legs crossed. This was a wine that had been delayed for 7 years. Let's raise our glasses and toast.